Hi, my name is Sarah. I'm 24 years old and I'm living in Los Angeles, California. I work in the film industry. I work as a cinematographer, in production a little bit, and as an actor as well. And right now I'm also a nanny for an 11-year-old girl, which is so much fun. But yeah, I'm so happy that I did Goddess Reclamation. It has changed my life. Before Goddess Reclamation, I really was trapped in a cycle of binge eating and trying to restrict and trying to lose weight, but not being able to. I was stuck in total food fear. If it had carbs in it, I wouldn't come within a mile of it. I was so unhappy and just afraid of food, and it was such a constricting feeling. I felt really apathetic. I didn't really have any desire to do anything meaningful. I just spent so many days just mindlessly going through social media and snacking and just using that as an excuse because I was watching TV or something, so I naturally had to snack. Before Goddess Reclamation, I felt really stuck and unsure of what to do. I felt like I was just going to be stuck in this place and that I should just kind of accept it. And I was struggling with a lot of chronic digestive issues that I had dealt with my whole life. I was also really feeling stuck in my current jobs and not knowing how to progress in my career and in my life. And so overall, I was just very much stuck. I felt disengaged from my life. I felt disengaged from the people around me, even though I have some amazing friends and amazing family. I wanted to live a fulfilling life, but I just didn't know how, or I didn't feel that it was really possible for me. So I chose the Goddess approach for many reasons, but I had been introduced to the Reclamation Project because I heard Julianne speaking on another person's podcast, and I just loved everything that she was talking about. I so deeply resonated with her journey, with her story, and how she overcame all of her struggles with body image, with eating. I could just so deeply tell it just landed so well in my body, and I just knew that if I wanted to live the life that I wanted deep down, I had to choose. So I definitely had some doubts before joining the program. It definitely felt like a really big investment. I knew that it was also going to be a lot of time. Truthfully, I was also really nervous before joining the program about my ability to be able to do the work. My biggest win, especially in the very beginning of the program, was I had fruit again. And I remember messaging everyone in the group and being like, everyone, I've had a mango and it was amazing, and I can't believe I haven't been having fruit for the past year. So that really sort of cracked open the box of intuitive eating and really just exploring foods and really understanding what works for me. My biggest shift with food freedom also was just realizing that no foods are bad. There's just some things that give me a more negative energy or just don't work with my body just doesn't agree with, and that's totally okay, but they're not inherently bad. My second biggest wins, I would say, in the program was all about somatics. Before Goddess Reclamation, I really didn't even understand my emotions. I had suppressed them so much that they were just so deeply tamped down in my body. And I was like, no wonder I'm having so many body issues, because my emotions are being tamped down and are being suppressed. So being able to connect to my body and my emotions on this massive level just kind of cracked me open and just allowed me to experience so many different things and so many different emotions in my life, and opened me up to so many different areas. So now I know how to let them come up, I acknowledge them, I listen to them, and I really let them process through my body, and then I can release them, and then they're gone until they come back again or something else happens. And it really gave me the perspective of I can let the emotions go, and then there's relief afterwards, and then I can experience a different emotion, maybe a more positive emotion after that. So one of my third really biggest wins in Goddess Rec is that I gained a lot of self-trust. That was something that I was really sorely lacking in my life. I felt so powerful. I was in control, but not in a way that was coming from a control of oh, because I'm lacking something, I need to grab onto everything and control it so that, I feel better about myself. But it was really just a control of I am the creator and I have the power within me, and I don't need anything else I don't need society's input, I don't need my parents' inputs, I don't need my friends' inputs or anything. I just need me, and I get to decide how my life is going to be. So before Goddess Reclamation, I didn't really trust that I knew the answers or that I knew what I wanted. And I didn't really know how to trust my own instinct, because I didn't really know how to judge what was mine and what wasn't. So that was definitely a really big win for me, is being able to trust myself and know that I do have the answer and I can step into my own and I can believe in myself and my own opinions and always continue to work and, check myself and gain perspective. But really that ultimately I do have the answers within me already. A huge mindset shift for pleasure in my life was pleasure practices. I'd always sort of thought of pleasure as kind of an abstract concept that was kind of like just revolving around sex and just was kind of tied to that. So one of the biggest shifts I had, mindset shifts at least, was that I deserve to experience pleasure in all areas of my life. So for my overall confidence, it has improved so much, so drastically. I am more expressive with my coworkers. Well, first of all, I'm doing this video. 5 months ago, I would have been way too terrified to even make this. The thought of being in front of the camera would have just terrified me and made me want to go hole up in my room with a bunch of snacks. Just having the confidence to be seen and to be heard and to use my voice. Yeah, I've learned not to hold myself back on my opinions anymore. I wouldn't even tell people the music that I liked if I thought that they would judge me for it. Building the self-trust was definitely something that really boosted my confidence. I believe in who I am and I believe in my beliefs and I believe in what I'm creating, and that's kind of all I need to have the confidence. In terms of hormone health and gut, I'm able to identify what works for me, what foods don't. I feel like my skin has cleared up so much more because of that, because I have so understood the gut skin relationship and really realized that a lot of my acne that I had in the past was directly diet related, because my gut was kind of not in shambles, but it was kind of in a rough state. And so my skin was a perfect reflection of that. Like, I've learned that my body is sending me signals, and I could see that it was inflamed because my skin was inflamed. Also, just the simple tricks that I've learned to support my hormones have helped my periods immensely. I've had some of my lightest periods since I was a teenager, so my body is just sort of being supported and smoothly moving things along, and that has been such a relief. My experience with Goddess Reclamation has been one of complete transformation. I have looked at so many different areas of my life and really decided and worked through all of my old patterns, old beliefs that I had, and old ways of thinking, and I really shifted them and learned so much. And then through that knowledge, I've been able to implement new things into my life and new ways of being. So with all of the shifts and changes and everything that's happened throughout the program, I really inhabit my body now. That was one of the biggest things when I got on the call with Julianne for the first time, was I just was so impressed with how she lived in her body, and she just was so present and so there. And that was something that I had been striving for. And now I actually sort of understand what that feels like, and I feel that I am in my body and I inhabit it and I love it, and I'm, in partnership with my body. I feel like we're on the same team now, whereas before I was fighting against it and getting so angry at it and upset, but now we're working together. For anyone that is wanting to join Goddess Reclamation or any of the Goddess Approach programs and they're afraid to do it and they're afraid about the investment, just do it. Just do it anyway. Because most likely it's your fears or your patterns or your stories that are coming up and they're trying to keep you in check. Mine were like, the second I heard the price and everything, I had to actually make a decision about what it was. Everything was like, no, you can't do this. You don't have enough money. You don't deserve this. All of those stories came up, but I persevered and I got through that fear, and I'm so glad that I did. So I would just say, do it, stretch yourself. It's going to be everything that you need and so much more. The second that I decided to do it, the second I put that deposit down, the second I started to invest in myself and bet on myself, things shifted. And every month I made the payments. I had so much extra. I just came from somewhere. It came from the universe. The universe provided for me. I provided for me because I made that decision to change, and I made that decision for myself to really invest in myself. A couple months in, I just realized every time that I made that payment, I was so thrilled to make that payment, because the energy and the love and the support that Julianne is giving you, it is so worth it. It was worth every penny.